you for the opportunity to share this input. Celgard is a global company headquartered in North Carolina. We develop and manufacture lithium-ion battery separators, and Charlotte is the home of our first manufacturing plant. We expanded to Concord, North Carolina, and are proud to bring over 45 years of membrane battery separator expertise to the industry. Our dry process separators are widely used in electric drive vehicles. We also supplied separator to energy storage systems around the world, and we're used in many specialty applications, including military and satellite batteries. Celgard has the broadest portfolio of dry process lithium battery separators, including monolayer, trilayer, and coated and laminated products. Market pressures are increasing in the United States from overseas competitors that receive government subsidies, primarily in China. To illustrate the point, battery separator produced in the United States has decreased from 17% to about 3% from 2015 to 2020. At the same time, subsidies from the Chinese government have propelled China from a 22% market share to a 52% market share. With this, U.S. separator manufacturing is declining, despite growth in the lithium-ion battery and EDV markets. One of the first items U.S. battery separator manufacturers need is some form of financial incentive if federally funded projects utilize U.S. components and suppliers. It is also imperative that we have government support in protecting U.S. intellectual property. We need to prevent copying and IP violation. Any U.S. funded project should exclude materials of suppliers that are infringing on U.S. IP. The third area of need requires funding to advance battery safety. We need improved safety standards for testing and battery performance. Grants are needed for U.S. companies to develop innovative products that improve safety and energy management of the battery. Funding is also needed to expand U.S. membrane separator production and improve existing processes. And we also need to invest in developing innovative separator coatings that can enhance the battery functionality. Funding is also needed to develop battery separator testing and laboratory capacity. We need cutting-edge R&D to advance separator functionality. There is also a very limited capacity to test batteries higher than 5 amp hours, and our U.S. testing capacity is limited. Additionally, we need to build out and expand our prototyping capabilities so that we can quickly test new ideas. Finally, we believe funding is needed to determine the recycling stream of batteries. In summary, Celgard suggests funding be allocated to provide incentives to use U.S. battery separators and components instead of foreign imports on federally funded projects. Also, to provide better IP protection for U.S. suppliers, advance battery safety, support separator production expansion and process improvement in existing processes, expand battery separator testing and lab capacity, and develop the battery recycling stream. Thank you for your time.
Hi, my name is Sebastian Lang with Brückner Group USA, representing Brückner Maschinenbau, a member of the Brückner Group. We design, build, and service production lines for the biaxial orientation of plastic films. We employ more than 2,600 employees worldwide, are headquartered in Sixdorf, Bavaria, founded in 1960, family-owned, and generate an annual revenue of close to 1 billion euros. Our production lines are used in packaging industry, same as for technical applications. Here in specific for optical applications such as LCD screens, solar backsheet panels, for electronics and capacitor films, and for lithium-ion batteries for battery separator film. A battery separator is a crucial part of any lithium-ion battery, no matter if it's cylindrical, prismatic, or pouch shape. The battery separator film separates the cathode from the anode. It comes with the ability of letting ions pass through while preventing shortcuts between cathode and anode. Currently, the global market separates as follows. Around about 90% of battery separator films are today manufactured in the Far East, in specific in China, South Korea, and Japan. In Europe, we see now the first battery separator film plants popping up, since battery separator film was identified of being of strategical importance for the European automotive industry. The US claims a market share of about 6%, while I need to comment here that those 6% are more dedicated towards specialty applications rather than state-of-the-art EV lithium-ion batteries. This is a picture of a lithium-ion battery made by Brückner, where you see the finished product here at the end, which comes out as a white film, produced with a width of up to 20 feet, and is then further processed, which means coated and converted before it's then delivered to the cell manufacturers. This is how the entire layout looks like of one production line, starting here in the upper right corner with the extrusion, undergoing a biaxial orientation, then the extraction bath, the annealing oven, and the winding. Film thickness range is usually between 10 and 20 micron, film net width up to 20 feet, and a line speed of 330 feet per minute. Typical plant layout looks like that there are two battery separator film lines housed in one building with shared auxiliaries and respective downstream units. Here you see a typical production line in one of our customer sites in Far East Asia that is housing in total 8 battery separator film lines. We meanwhile concluded dozens of these projects successfully around the world and are happy to deepen our conversation about battery separator film lines. Thank you very much.
Hello, my name is Brian Morin. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Soteria Battery Innovation Group. There's two things to know about Soteria. The first is that we have a technology that enables lithium-ion batteries to be inherently safe, and I'll show what that means in a second. The second is that we're taking this to market through an industry-wide consortium of over 115 different players, companies, and you can see some of them listed here. So what this looks like is the cells on the left are standard cells undergoing 4 different nail penetration tests. As soon as there's an internal short, they immediately ignite. The Soteria technology cells perform exactly the same, except they're much more damage tolerant. Same thing now with cylindrical cells. The top is a nail penetration, the bottom is a 90-degree crush test. Again, significant difference between the cells on the left, the standard cells, and the Soteria cells on the right. Our vision is to have inherently safe cells everywhere. And we're taking this to market and building a community that agrees with this vision. You can see on the left the large equipment and material manufacturers, 30 different cell builders in the middle, and then a growing group of end users on the right. Our vision is that everybody deserves lithium-ion battery safety. It's 4 things we do. The first is we put our technology out as an open innovation platform for those companies to innovate on top of. The next is our promise to the industry, which is to put the technology out under FRAND terms so that everybody has access to battery safety. The third is we set an uncompromising safety standard so people know that our cells will do what we say they will. And then for cells that can be certified to that, we're going to let the Soteria name and brand be the sticker on the outside that tells you it's got safe cells on the inside. Cut this out. There's several things we want to recommend. The first is this is a global industry and we can't stop it. So we need to support US companies that have a global patent portfolio, and DOE labs should file their patents globally so that US companies can export and have their technology protected. The next is environmental protection is not uniform globally. So the government should restrict and tax imported materials that are made with low environmental protection standards. The next is that battery safety is an issue everyone ignores, and they can't. We need to have uniform cell level standards that address the root cause of lithium-ion battery safety. And 2 more, the growth of EVs is going to be restricted by material availability, so we should emphasize components that use less material, nickel, copper, lithium, everything, and also emphasize components that are made with renewable resources. And then the last recommendation is that US development needs to be protected. We need to continue working with foreign countries on IP protection and prosecution, including discovery, which today is not allowed in China. And then also streamline the process for enforcing patents at our borders at import. And that's it. Thank you.
ENTEK is a US-based, US-owned business designing and producing battery separators for global manufacturing since 1984. Today, ENTEK supplies almost 3/4 of the battery separators used to produce batteries for US automotive OEMs. Unrivaled as the largest U.S. producer of lead-acid separators for aftermarket vehicle batteries for both traditional combustion engines and stop-start vehicles, ENTEK has leveraged our expertise to produce battery separators at our Oregon campus for the global lithium battery market for more than 2 decades. Our core competencies in material science and process technologies, along with our internally engineered, fabricated, and installed production equipment, make ENTEK uniquely prepared to successfully expand our U.S. footprint to serve the growing domestic lithium battery demand. ENTEK is committed to playing a major role in establishing a robust and resilient lithium battery supply chain in the U.S. and helping facilitate the path to achieving net zero emissions by the year 2050. And as the only domestic producer of wet process lithium battery separators, the technology of choice for all electric vehicle and energy storage lithium-ion battery manufacturers, we serve key growth customers within the burgeoning domestic lithium battery space. ENTEK is the only integrated supplier of an unparalleled and robust product portfolio that includes lead-acid, lithium-ion, lithium metal, lithium primary, and sodium-ion battery separators, making our intellectual property more important than ever to secure resilient, onshore lithium battery separator capability and business continuity for the growing demand of domestic lithium battery manufacturers. Our proprietary IT software allows us to apply and track statistical process controls in real time and ensure traceability through to the battery cell. ENTEK's equipment division designs, engineers, fabricates, installs, and commissions all of our battery separator lines, making us a truly vertically integrated company, allowing ENTEK to be both agile and prepared to grow with the U.S. demand for separators. Product and process development projects at our campus in Oregon and our recently expanded equipment fabrication facility in Henderson, Nevada, are the first steps in implementation of our plans to install significant additional capacity for the production of lithium battery separators in the U.S. We have also pioneered the commercial use of environmentally sustainable solvent and recovery systems, which will be integrated with ENTEK production equipment in our gigascale lithium separator capacity expansion plan. By supporting ENTEK, the Department of Energy will ensure ENTEK achieves U.S. onshored gigascale production of strategically vital lithium battery separator at a faster pace and at a greater scale than could be achieved without that support. ENTEK will proudly play its part in meeting the impending national imperative to expand a sustainable and resilient lithium battery supply chain by up to tenfold by the end of the decade.